Doris Duke was born on November 22nd, 1912, and was an only child. Her father was James Duke, who was said to have been the founder of the American tobacco industry. James would apparently donate $40 million to what was then Trinity College in North Carolina. It was then renamed Duke University after him, after the donation. James would sadly die in 1925. He leaves $60 million to the university, and he leaves $100 million to Doris, who was only 12 at the time. She's then named the richest little girl in the world. And at 13, Doris sues her mother for her inheritance. At 22, she would marry James Cromwell. She gets pregnant and winds up giving birth to a daughter named Arden, 3 months premature, who sadly died. They wind up divorcing, and she winds up having to pay him $1 million. In 1947, she winds up marrying a playboy by the name of Porfirio Rubirosa. Apparently, lawyers would have him try to come over before said wedding with a prenuptial, which he refused to sign, but they wound up getting him to sign it apparently while he was drunk. She then would go on to marry a man by the name of Joseph Castro, who apparently was a musician. He apparently had made fun of her one night, and she apparently had slashed him on the arm. He left, and then she basically buys him a car to get him to come back. When it was time for them to divorce, he eventually wound up owing her like 25 grand in alimony until he got remarried. So in May of 1964, Doris gets a restraining order against Joseph, and in said restraining order, you can't ever tell anyone that we were legally married. And so with her apparently was Eduardo Tirella, who was born June 8th, 1924. He served in the U.S. Army when he was 19. And Doris apparently would actually leave for Newport, Rhode Island the next day. It takes Eduardo with her. And on October 7th, 1966, Doris would apparently be driving her car when she proceeds to hit Eduardo, killing him pretty much immediately, and then smashing the car into a tree. He pretty much gets rushed to the hospital because, she's still alive, and she's put into a room where police cannot question her. And then it's also said that the medical examiner was on her payroll. Eduardo's death was legally declared an accident. They knew that the public was not going to believe that his death was an accident, so they created a transcript to release to the public of the police interview. So Doris would basically donate 25 grand to fix Cliff Walk. She helped a bunch of people apparently retire. She donated $10K to the local hospital. She was also made to pay 75 grand to Eduardo's family. And apparently in 1990, the case file would apparently actually go missing, but would later actually be found under Eduardo's boyfriend's name. In April of 1993, Doris apparently changed her will to leave everything to the butler, so she had no surviving children or anybody else, I guess, that she deemed worthy of having her riches. She dies that same year on October 20th at the age of 80. And of course, it is believed that the butler killed her. He essentially was taken off a plan where he was supposed to get like $5 million of her riches right away and then have control of the rest of her finances, I guess, like eventually. He does wind up getting some of the money, and he wound up dying in 1996.